Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of In the Zone, episode 179. All three of us are on deck today. We are going to go right to the NHL playoffs. We got to kick it off with this fucking Avs and Blues game. Great game, not so much for Colorado, but just that for the fans, great game. You see on the screen right there, Bose Lightyear to the rescue with that OT winner. Big collapse by the Colorado Avalanche. The Blues played amazing, forcing a game 6. Chris, I'm going to kick it to you right away. What are your thoughts on that performance?
The key guy here to just praise was McKinnon getting the hat trick. They're up 3-0, and I think it was the second intermission. The analysts there, Friedman and Rudy and Bieksa, it's not that they kind of, just absolutely said, yeah, the series is done. It's just I don't think anybody, including myself, I can't really speak for you guys, but I did not see the Blues coming back from 3-0 on the road going into the third. It just shows that, again, they've been there. They're Stanley Cup champs. They won 3 years ago. They have that resilience, and Colorado, for whatever reason, when it comes to the second round, I'm not going to say they're cursed. I mean, they're probably going to win the series, but damn, this one was theirs to really take, and it was a big blunder there. I was saying to you guys before the pod went live, I just think that McKinnon scores that hell of a goal to go up 4-3 with 2:46 left, and all you have to do is kind of just shut it down, get the puck out of the zone, and the Blues, Justin Falk, I got to give that guy all the credit in the world. He played his position perfectly up at the point late in the game. And then, of course, the guy that, I think he got the tying goal. And then Robert Thomas, the big tree, 6'4", goes in front of the net and just, screens. Kemper gets his stick out in front of, gets it home 4-4. And then Tyler Bozak in overtime just absolutely Kadri was kind of screening the play there. Kemper couldn't see it, and it went in. And, now we're going to game 6 back in St. Louis. I mean, is it crazy to think that the Blues could really come back here? I know that, going back home, it's always it is a good thing, obviously, for the Blues. But what do you guys think the score is going to be in game 6? I think the Avalanche are going to come out hungry. I think Makar has to have a better game, and I think they just take it home, man. I think that the Avs, man, we've been saying this for 2-3 years now. I think this might be the time where they're the kings of the West.
Oh, man. If Darcy Kemper plays like that and Husso has a game like he did, this could be ugly. This next game, it could be fun for fans, but for the coaching staff, it's going to be one that, they're going to be really upset about, because you look at Kemper when he was brought in, and this looked like a game Colorado had won. They had it 3-1 going into the third period. Just shut down defensively, get through it. Everyone's rested, but now they're in a tough situation here, because even if they win, now it's an extra game that they have under their belt. Like, some of these guys are probably injured, and puts them at a disadvantage. So I think Colorado still wins it, but I'm expecting another high-scoring game. I think we're going to probably see like a 6-3 or maybe a 7-4 in the next game.
Jesus Christ. I don't know what the fuck happened this game. But yeah, the Blues can absolutely make it a series. Going back to your question earlier, Chris, they got that championship DNA, and most of those guys are still there. If they win game 6, it's a big if, but they're going home. That crowd's going to be fucking bumping. They're going to boo the shit out of Kadri every time he touches the puck, just like how Colorado booed Perron. That's a nice little feud going back and forth, but I'll still say the Avs close it in 6, but goddamn, this is a tight series. But how about that Nathan McKinnon performance? Obviously, they didn't get the win, but he didn't have a goal this entire series, and he fucking explodes for 3. That third goal was outstanding. My God.
Yeah, man. I think I saw a stat last series when he was absolutely fucking torching Nashville. I think he was on a stat line there with Gretzky and Lemieux as being one of the best and most dominant playoff point per game performers. And coming into this game, a lot of people don't really necessarily talk about the clutchness that he brings, because again, Colorado hasn't gone to the finals yet. They haven't been able to take that step. But dude, time and time again, the game gets late. It gets late in the game. It's tied. It's close. there's not a better player in the game than Nathan McKinnon. And we saw it last night. We've seen McCarr score a couple really clutch, nasty goals, but like last night was like no other. He goes end to end. He makes Nick Leddy look like an AHL defenseman, absolutely roofs it with very minimal space on Husso. Just a crazy game. And I know we praise McKinnon a lot, and I don't think Rantanen, like, he's getting a lot of flack. He's not getting the stats. He's not shooting as much, but a guy that we need to continue to praise, you brought him up, is Kadri. This is a guy where he's the ultimate villain, and in the villain type moments, you know, he runs Binnington over in Game 3. Game 4 comes out, gets what did he get? He had a hat trick and 4 points tonight, or in last night's game. McKinnon, 3 goals, 1 assist. So the two centermen for the Avs, man, have been the X factors nonetheless. Sam Girard got hurt early on in the series. That absolutely killed them too. But yeah, no, I agree. I think the Avs have to win Game 6. If they really don't, it could go either way in Game 7. So I really do like the feud, like you mentioned, with Perron and Kadri, but McKinnon, man, he's like no other in this series.
Man, well, going from one superstar to another, let's talk about Connor McDavid. He's leading the playoffs in scoring by a fucking mile. I think it's I don't have it in front of me. I'm pretty sure it's him, Draisaitl, and Kane. They're up on the Flames right now, big time. I thought the Flames would take this in maybe 6, but is this the Oilers' fucking year within their conference or what? We're gonna see them in Colorado in a banger.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but McDavid, holy crap! Like, I don't know what. You can't stop him. You can do your best to like keep him off the score sheet, like from scoring a goal. Maybe he has to get an assist and set up a teammate. But I thought Calgary, with all these teams, would have the best chance to do it just because of the rivalry. They play each other so often. But like now, what we've seen out of him, it's going to be tough. I think Colorado would do well. St. Louis, you would need Tarasenko to get hot and hope those defensive forwards are able to shut him down. But it might be the Oilers' year because you look at the East, Tampa, getting past Florida, and maybe like they'll be able to do it. But I just see Connor McDavid at another level right now, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of speechless. I've never seen a guy put up 25 points in 12 playoff games, not even. Like, this is Gretzky stuff that we're witnessing. This is not Crosby stuff. This is Gretzky stuff. This is something that we have. Crosby won the Conn Smythe with 23 points in 2017. He has 25 in 12 games. There's 2 series to go. Does he hit 40 points if they go to the finals? Like, this is a playoff performance that we will never see again. This is how good it is. And Evander Kane has 12 goals. He's looking to break Reggie Leach's record. I believe it's 19 goals in a postseason. He's already at 12. This is as good as it gets for Edmonton. And you know what? The fans deserve it. They've been going through quite a bit the last couple of years, you know, getting swept in Winnipeg last year, losing to Anaheim the way they did, even losing to Chicago 2 years ago. This is a team that, you know, they have to get over that hump. And shout out to Mike Smith because he's beating Father Time right now. He's 41 and he's still going, and he's outplaying Jakob Markstrom. And I don't know what the hell it is with Markstrom in Edmonton, but he just doesn't play well against them. But I guys, call me crazy. I still think this goes 7 games. I still think Calgary, they have a lot left. Daryl Sutter, one of the most calm, cool, collected coaches in the game. The top line really hasn't gotten going yet, so I don't expect Mike Smith to outperform Markstrom all series. I don't see that happening. But, man, like McDavid, like you mentioned, he's like no other. Just a freak.
You brought up Kane there. What does his future look like with Edmonton? Is this just a nice little one-and-done thing? Obviously, your stats are going to get boosted when you play with these guys, but he's always been a good player. If the dumb motherfucker can keep his head in check, perfect for this top 6, and you're seeing it right now.
Yeah, nothing else to add there.
Yeah, it's just upsetting because it's so on and off, and I didn't even know about what was it, 19 goals is the record? Was that it?
Yeah.
And the guy's at 12, and they're not even done the second round. And we didn't even talk about Nugent Hopkins. The guy's been on the team. He's been on some terrible fucking Oilers teams over the last decade, and now it's finally coming all together for him. So hopefully they can close it out, because if they don't, oh my, we got another story coming. But I feel like we have to talk about Tampa and Florida, because
Oh man,
we didn't do that because that shit finished in a week. And yeah, we didn't touch on it. So again, Vasilevsky, game 4, another shutout. I don't know what the record is, but the Leafs are the only fucking team to score a goal against him in those closeout games, which is astonishing. I don't know. Just like Florida, they won the Presidents. They had a phenomenal year. A lot of guys had career years over there, picking up Reinhart and Giroux later in the season, making that run. And they just ran into the fucking back-to-back champs and got absolutely rinsed. So, Aulino, what are your thoughts on this series as a whole?
Man, it was a tough one to watch. I thought Florida had it in them to pull off that upset. Sergei Bobrovsky, oh man, some of the saves he made, it looked like he was back on the case there, but it wasn't meant to be. Florida, who would have thought that would be the big rivalry, a Florida team and another Florida team? And yeah, Tampa got it done, unfortunately, and now we got to see them go on their quest for a third straight Stanley Cup. And yeah, they got a lot of question marks too now, Florida, because you got a loaded team. You got Barkov, you got Ekblad, Huberdeau. Like, what are you going to do with Giroux now? What are you going to do with Bobrovsky? So they got a lot of questions they got to answer going into the draft.
yeah, dude, it was disappointing. I thought that this would be a banger. I thought this would kind of be similar to Edmonton and Calgary, high scoring. And I'm an idiot for thinking that because Vasilevsky's in net. So he's arguably a top 5 goalie of all time. When you look, that's a hot take right now, but he's already got 2 cups. He's on his way to potentially winning 3. He has 6 shutouts in the last 7 game 7s. He plays the best in the hardest times, and that just separates greatness from just superstar goalies. Like, you talk about Binnington 3 years ago coming out of nowhere and, helping the Blues finally get their glory. And, you're just looking at Vasilevsky. I remember when he got bounced. I think it was in the final when they lost to the Blackhawks. A lot of fans are saying, okay, maybe Vasilevsky's a little overrated. Maybe, he is great, but maybe he can't get you a cup. Because I remember they then, they got eliminated by Columbus. And then it was like, okay, we'll see what happens. But ever since that series where they got swept, he just became a different monster. He just a lot more focused, a lot more motivated. And, shout out to, I know you guys are going to laugh when I say this, but I need to shout out to the freaking fourth liners in Tampa Bay. Like, they come to play every single game. Corey Perry has freaking more goals than Stamkos in these playoffs. Patrick Maroon, for God's sake, I think he scores every single either series clinching or game-winning goal for Tampa Bay since going there. Like, the guy is clutch as hell. Nikita Kucherov is a magician. I don't know if you guys saw that goal when they scored with 2 seconds left in the game. He didn't even look. He knew Colton was there, and it went right on his stick, and he got it past Bob. I feel really sorry, man, for Florida because they had, like you mentioned, Pagniello, they added so many guys. Like, Giroux was a big add. Sherratt was a big add. Getting Bennett last year, even getting Reinhart last year. Just a lot of big ads. And to not win a game, that's a tough pill to swallow. And Barkov and Huberdeau, I love those boys, but they didn't show up when they had to. And that's the difference between 2 Florida teams. One showed up, the other didn't.
All right. I'm going to say it because I know we're all thinking it. If the Leafs played the Panthers, what would the series be? Aulino.
Florida 4-0.
Oh, my.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, the Leafs, I think, would have won it in 6.
I agree. I was just going to say Leafs in 6 probably. I would give them maybe 1 or 2, maybe 1 on the road as well, because you know how fucking Huberdeau and Barkov are at the Scotiabank Arena. But yeah, I'd still say the Leafs would win. I said from the beginning, man, like the winner of the Leafs and Lightning are going to the finals, and I'm still sticking with that. So it's looking like it.
You're fucking capping on that. I feel like if the Leafs won, you wouldn't pick them.
Well, dude, you got to think about it. The Leafs, if they beat the Lightning, who do you realistically see them losing? I know it's the Leafs. I know we don't really have a lot of faith in them going on a deep playoff run, but like, who do you see them losing to? Like, do they lose to the Rangers? Do they lose to I mean, Freddie Anderson would be the fucking guy to beat them. It would be him, right?
I was going to say Carolina, but also I was going to start it off. You just said it. It's the Leafs, because they would do something Toronto like that. They'd beat the back-to-back champs, and then they would lose to the team that squeezed in on the last day of the season, because they do that shit. I just love the immediate reaction when Tampa won, and the Leaf fans immediately take it to Twitter and Instagram. This is fucking bullshit. The Leafs would have gone to the finals, and they would have rinsed Florida. Like, relax. We still would have to play the series. Got to give those guys credit.
And you know what? Knowing Bobrovsky, he probably would have had like a 980 save against us. So maybe not.
yeah. But
do you think he'll get traded though? Because I'm looking at like his cap hit and Montreal talking like Carey Price saying he doesn't know his future there. Do you think we'll see a trade Bobrovsky and ads or like picks and a prospect for Carey Price?
Holy fuck! That would be. That'd be huge. I think that would literally be a grand slam for Florida, because Giroux's up, and I've heard rumors he wants to resign there. He's built a great foundation and friendship with a couple players there. I think that rookie there in Florida, Lundell, really. Him and Drew apparently are very close. So I do think if that were to happen, you free up all that cap space. Let's say Price retires. Then yeah, that would be great for them. But it's hard, man, because like I put Bobrovsky in the same light as Tavares. As terrible as the contract is, and you look at the way they perform, are they really gonna leave? Like really? Like I love the rumors and all that, but I don't think so, man. Just the cap is too much.
I think that'll depend on Spencer Knight over time. Like maybe not right away. They'll try to trade him, but if he gets to a point where he's ready to take the number one spot, they'll probably be like, okay, let's attach the first round pick and a prospect and get rid of this fucking guy. So as for now, I'll say no, but I feel like it's coming. Yeah.
I see it.
But the last series here, we got Carolina and the Rangers. So who's Tampa Bay sweeping? Oh, fuck me. But
I'll say Carolina, bro. Carolina's gonna win. I think tonight's a big game for Carolina. They're undefeated at home. I don't see that trend ending. I think they're still gonna win tonight. I got to give Shesterkin all the love in the world. A lot of analysts, sports fans just wrote the Rangers off because they barely beat Pittsburgh without Crosby for a game or two games, and freaking going up against what's his name there, Louis Domingue. But the Rangers have held their heads high. Zibanejad and Strome have been amazing, and I just got to give all the credit to the Rangers, because again, I didn't necessarily think it would be 2-2 going back into Game 5. So it's going to be a close one. I do agree. I do think the Bolts beat either team. I don't want to just discredit the win for either team, but the Bolts are just on a different fucking level, man.
Yeah, I'm going to say some crazy shit here. Carolina is going to the final. 20 years ago, 2002, another rough one for Leafs fans, because that was the year they could have went to the final, played Detroit, and who stopped them? Carolina of all teams. So
Arder Zerbe.
Yeah, 20 years later, I see history repeating itself, and I think they're going to stop Tampa from three-peating.
So are you telling me Edmonton's going to meet them in the finals?
And then they're going to do the same thing to Edmonton. So 2002 and 2006, there's going to be a nice little nostalgia flashback, and Carolina's going to win the cup.
Holy fuck, man.
Half those guys haven't even sniffed their fucking potential. And you know what? They're pretty fucking close.
Aulino, go look at the odds on that. Carolina to win the cup. That's probably like plus 1,200.
He might retire tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It's a
Imagine.
that's huge. I mean, they did finish first, but like that's oh my god, I don't know.
Freddie
about that.
Anderson, do you think he can do that? Or do you think he's going to eventually, like, he'll come back, get injured, and it's going to be Antti-Ranta's ship right there?
I just think the star players haven't been good enough for them to be labeled as, cup favorites here. Just Tampa knows what they're doing. I think honestly, man, like I love what McDavid's doing. I think it's a great story. But if Mike Smith in 2022 can go to the Stanley Cup Finals, I don't know anymore. That just goes against all logic for me in hockey. The guy's fucking 41. Like I don't know how he's going to the finals, but you have McDavid. I said this to my dad last night. He wasn't surprised. He doesn't know much about Kemper. I said, Dad, like he's been a top 10 goalie probably the last 2 years. He said, well, he doesn't look like one. I'm like, well, because he hasn't been in these fucking moments before, and he's laying an egg. He's shitting the bed. Mike Smith, believe it or not, went to the fucking conference finals with fucking Phoenix in 2012. Yeah, not Arizona. They were called Phoenix, so that long ago. But no, man, I don't see Edmonton going to the finals. I think Colorado has it in the fucking bag. If McKinnon can fucking dude, I'll tell you right now, McKinnon faces Mike Smith. The guy he's 8 goals in the playoffs. I would say 15, no doubt, by the end of it.
Yo, Carolina's going to the finals. I'm with Aulino here.
I hope you guys are right. I want to see a new fucking team. But I think Vachi's too fucking dominant, man.
I'll actually take Carolina though in this series, in the Ranger series. My favorite thing about this entire series, honestly, is following Anthony D'Angelo.
Oh, what an idiot!
I want to see him take a fucking clapper for the OT winner in New York and have fans throw shit on the ice, and he just does some crazy ass interview after.
You know him, like if he were to get that goal, instead of celebrating and being, passive, he would definitely flip them off. Like no doubt. He would look at the crowd and flip them off. He's that type of guy.
So what final do you want to see with all the teams left? I'm assuming because Colorado's there for me. It's probably Colorado-Tampa. But like, would Edmonton-Tampa be more exciting? What do you think?
Fuck. So I'm gonna. It's not happening. I don't think it's happening. But I want to bring it back to 2004, man. Tampa Bay Calgary, I think would be fucking amazing. I think that would be a final that you got to talk about. The talks with Goudreau, and there's a lot of implications there. And then Monahan's hip. What's gonna go moving forward? I think. Calgary winning would be absolutely fantastic. You make history coming back 3-1. You go to the final, you go to the dance, taking on Vasilevsky. And, make no mistake about it. Vasilevsky, to me, is the clear-cut number 1 goalie in the league. But Markstrom, like, that would be a pretty cool damn final, man. Seeing Markstrom and Vasilevsky, that would be – but, yeah, no, I think for views and for entertainment purposes, man, I got to go with you. Colorado and Tampa. That'd be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I kind of want to see Edmonton and Carolina just because there would be like 20 goals a game with those two teams going at it. 100%.
Fucking Ranta versus Smith.
There'll be so many like 2-on-1s, like even strength goals just because a goalie will be cold one night. And I just think like so many people will be like, how the hell did this goal go in? There would just be questions all over the place. Obviously Colorado, Tampa, just because of how stacked both teams are, but I think one of these teams is just gonna fucking goof it. I just don't see them. Maybe Colorado would be the team, but you never know. Tampa has done it in the past when they played Columbus, so you never know with that team. One of these teams, though, like someone's gonna come up short there.
I like that. Okay, I'm gonna ask the question: who's the team that's gonna goof it? Pagniello.
Tampa.
Oh, Edmonton.
There you go. I was going to say Edmonton's goofing it. They're losing. They're up 3-1. 2 of the 3 games are in Calgary. I could see Calgary stealing Game 6. There you go.
Yeah, 100% Edmonton.
100%. Man, come on, man.
Was it 3-0 though, or was it like 3, like were they up 2-1 and then 3-1 and then Calgary came back?
I'm pretty sure it was 3-0. I
Oh
could be
my
wrong,
God.
but I
Even
know
better.
it was 2-0 like 7 minutes in the game. So
Even better.
let me check this quick.
If the series was 3-0, we can have an LA and San Jose situation on our hands.
Oh yeah, dude, it was fucking 3-0 after one.
Good
They
God.
scored 3 straight, Calgary. Oh man.
So basically, St. Louis, New York final. Book it.
Oh.
St. Louis, New York final.
Winner
Oh.
keeps Tarasenko. If St. Louis loses, Tarasenko goes to the Rangers.
People would lose their fucking mind if that's how it would play out this year's final. I'm also, I hope the Oilers don't blow it. I just want to see a McDavid-McKinnon conference final.
Yeah, that'd
Do
be
not fuck
unbelievable.
that up. Like, I want to
That
see
would be
these stars run into each other more often. So many great players in the league, and there's just either bounce in the first round or don't make the playoffs. This is fucking history. A lot of these stars are still playing right now. McDavid-McKinnon, Game 7, let's go. But you got anything else for hockey, boys?
Oh fuck. I just hope that anybody but Tampa Bay wins the cup. I want to see some new fucking I want to see a new team winning, and I would love to fucking see Landeskog hoisted. That'd be great.
Oh, man.
Same.
Tampa's got 8 more games. But yeah, let's go to the NBA now. Good God. Where do we start? Let's start with the East. We'll go Miami, Boston. Chris, that's pissing you off. So why don't you just get into it right there, buddy?
Yeah, man. I don't know what to I mean, I expected a great series, like close knit every game. Maybe like they win by 5, win by like at most 10, but every game has been a 20, like a 15 or 20 point win. And yeah, you know, it is playoff basketball. You played a lot the last 3 years since the bubble. Both teams have played a boatload of basketball, but holy crap, what are with all these injuries, dude? Every game there's a starter that's out. Like Robert Williams, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Jimmy Butler, Lowry, Hero. Like I can't keep track. There's so many injuries. And then you look at the star players and how they've played. You know me. I never ever give Tatum flack. The last 2 years, I've never given this guy flack. You come out in game 4, I think it was game 4. You're in Boston. You drop 10 points in 40 minutes. Really? Like, come on. And then last night, Jimmy Butler, 13 points, 4 of 18 shooting. Like, to me, I know you just mentioned it, Pagniello, perfectly. When it gets later on in the playoff, doesn't matter what sport, NHL, NBA, ML, and it doesn't matter any sport. You want to see the star players show out, and in this series specifically, the only game that I remember the star player showed out was Jason Tatum in game 4, and Jaylen Brown in game 3. And of course you had Jimmy Butler the first 2 games, but other than that, Bam Adebayo's been quiet. Tyler Hero's been injured, hasn't done much. Kyle Lowry, I'll let Aulino get into that. But yeah, to me, dude, this series has been a disappointment. It's a conference final. It's supposed to be competitive, and it's just lacked that. I mean, I still think the Celtics now, especially after last night, 96-80. What kind of score is 80 points? They need help. Jimmy Butler needs help. I thought Oladipo go in there was a low key, sneaky move, and look what happened. He dropped 18 or no, sorry, he dropped 24 points, led the team the game before yesterday. It's just the big time guys for Miami. Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry, they have not shown up. So I think the Celtics are now easily going to the finals. I mean, I don't think they're going to pull a Milwaukee, be up 3-2 and lose 2 in a row. We've obviously seen it happen, but the way that Ime Udoka has coached his team since January is just absolutely outstanding. So the role players are better. The star players are better. They have more stars. Celtics are winning this series.
Yeah, I agree with it. I think like Boston, they're a more exciting team to watch. Like I was kind of bored, not gonna lie, with Miami. Just nothing against them personally. It's just boring. Like when I see Boston play, like it seems everybody is more offensively Like, I don't know what like Miami's doing, but it's really when you see Kyle Lowry and getting 0 points, like what the hell's going on there? Like he's a guy who gets threes, takes charges. Like we've seen this in the past with the Raptors. Like he's hot and cold, and he'll have these kind of games. But now in Miami, he's got to really step up because who else? They don't have like a Fred VanVleet to come off the bench and be that facilitator. They got to rely on Gabe Vincent, and this guy's missing 3-pointers and warm up. So like at some point, you got to address that. Like Oladipo can't be that guy where he's got to carry the offense and be that quarterback. So unless they get another point guard to Lowry's level, I think this team's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, Dippo can't lead your team in scoring. You're probably not gonna fucking win. Did you see Pritchard take it to Hero?
Yo, Pritchard is a fucking baller, man. I love Pritchard.
It's just it goes back to Alino's point. Just the way Boston plays, there's just a certain vibe. And like Pritchard coming in on Hero, and he's got so much bounce to him, and he pulls up and then does the fucking too small gesture to him. He's like 6 inches smaller, and he fucking does the too small. Oh my god, it killed me. But I probably got Boston in 6. Yeah, I thought it'd be a little more competitive. Every game is like half the guys show up, and then the next game, the same guys fucking flop, and you don't know what to expect from certain guys every night. Lowry to me was a big fucking problem last game. He's been injured for a good chunk of this, for not a good chunk, but he's been in and out of the lineup, and like his speed to me was noticeably it was kind of down. And when you have a guy that's 6'1" and he's a little bit slower and may not be as good defensively, like he was getting exposed at times. So I love Kyle. Hate seeing that shit happen, but you guys got the Celtics, right? Did I hear that?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, it's over for Miami. Like another thing that I don't know if he's injured. I don't know if he's just not in the game plan as much as Bam. Like, what's going on with Bam Adebayo? He takes 6 shots a game. He doesn't do much. Robert Williams is exposing him badly, and you need that certain level of aggressiveness with a guy as athletic as Bam Adebayo. Look exactly what Oladipo did in Game 4. You need that aggressiveness from Bam Adebayo, not from Oladipo. So the fact that, Bam isn't taking his shots, Butler is just flat out bricking every single game. The last 3 games, I think he shot under 30%. So Jimmy, we all know he's not supposed to get 30 points per game. That's not the way he plays. He's supposed to get 22 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, fill the stat sheet, but not be the primary scorer. And that's the problem right there. Tyler Hero going down. He averaged 20 points off the bench. There's the hole right there. Gabe Vincent and Max Strauss, yeah, they're great stories, but they're not going to drop 15 points each every game against Boston. And, Jaylen Brown at times has struggled with his shot, and you saw it last night, but he comes around when he has to. In the fourth quarter, he'll drop 16 points if he has to. He's done it twice in the series. So Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, as bad some games as they've had, they show up in the fourth quarter. Guys like Peyton Pritchard and Grant Williams, they show up in the fourth quarter. So like you mentioned, Aulino and Pags, they have that DNA that Miami, it looks like they're lacking, which is puzzling because they went to the finals 2 years ago. Now, here's my question to you guys. Is that year specifically with that heat run, is there an asterisk around that? Because that's the vibe I feel from the way that analysts are talking about Miami.
In terms of what, though?
Like they're basically the way that they've performed the last 2 playoffs compared to the one where they went to the final. They're saying it was basically an asterisk because there was no fans. It was a fluke basically. They didn't have that DNA to go to the finals.
If I have to give you a yes and no, I'd say no. I think the Heat are a very good team, and I think Butler is that guy. I just think like I think it's something that the Celtics are doing to this team's defense, because the Heat, the last few years, like the way they play similar to the Raptors, but a notch higher. Like they're a great team. They play together, and I thought this would be a really back and forth series. And Boston's just been exposing them. I don't think that's anything against Miami. It's just it's more of a plus for Boston this time around.
Yeah, I agree. I think like the Raptors comparison, like they're similar, but the one thing the Raptors had was depth at point guard. Like when you see Gabe Vincent, who's a 3-point guy, like you want him to get open for shots. You don't want him to like be the guy to pass a ball around to Jimmy Butler. Like it takes away from what he's known for and what his strengths are. So I think that puts their whole team at a weakness because you have Gabe Vincent and Strauss who you want at the wings, but they're trying to free up space here to give the ball to Oladipo, who's going to drive to the net. Then you got Butler struggling. So if Bam Adebayo is not even going to take shots and he's going to only be capped at 6 a game, regardless if he makes them or not, you're mostly going to get 12 points out of him. So I think you're putting yourself and your team at a disadvantage like that.
Yeah, I mean it's tough too because Jimmy Butler 3 years ago had that magic run. Like people were comparing him to LeBron from 2016, I believe, or 17. Just carrying his team to the promised land, coming up short, obviously, to AD and, LeBron. That's obviously tough to win in a 7-game or any time. But, I think this Boston team, since February, they're on a mission. They have the players to do it, man. Marcus Smart have been saying for 2 years, if they were a smidge better 2-3 years ago, they would have beat Miami. They would have beat Milwaukee. They came close both times. And, I had a feeling, man, as soon as they beat Brooklyn, I'm like, okay, that was the big hurdle right there. They beat Kevin Durant. They beat Kyrie Irving. Now just keep your heads held high, and you can make a run. And, they went down 3-2 against Milwaukee. And, I mean, I said it myself. I was like, okay, you know what? It was a good run. It's just Giannis is a different type of beast, kind of like what LeBron was in the East all those years ago. But, Tatum, Brown, Marcus Smart, the X Factor, Al Horford, holy shit. Rejuvenated. They have that DNA. They have that juice to win. So, my prediction's looking unreal from the beginning of the playoffs. I guess I'll transition to Pagniello to talk more about the Warriors Magic. Mavericks, not Matt. I'm looking at Luka Magic here. But the Mavericks, great story. It looks like it's going to come to an end, though, isn't it?
Oh, fuck yeah. It's a great experience from the Mavs. I didn't see them getting out of the first round. Now they're playing the Warriors in the conference finals. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, like honestly, like Luka, this is his 3rd or 4th year, something like that. Like he's taken this team so goddamn far, and so many guys on that team have stepped up and helped him along the way. So like I'm not necessarily surprised with the score at the moment, but I'm proud of the Mavericks.
Yeah, I'm also proud of this good Canadian kid. Look at Andrew Wiggins finally coming into his own. And yeah, I agree. Like Luka Doncic just carrying this team. I think he's an MVP of the playoffs. If there was an MVP award for guys who didn't win it, I think Luka Doncic and then Giannis. So like what Doncic has been able to do with like Jalen Brunson's a good player, but he's not like a elite scorer where you can count on to get 30 points a game. So if Doncic can get another star to come in, and you already have that like, with Brunson, you got Finney-Smith, you got Bullock. I think this team could be scary. It could be a team that everyone talks about as a favorite. So I think they're one piece away from really being a contender that you can count on to win every year.
Yeah.
Talk about the Warriors now. What the fuck's going on with Klay Thompson? Because he's not himself, and the Warriors are still this well-oiled machine, and he's obviously a very big part of it, but he's not a main piece to this puzzle at the moment.
It's kind of concerning, man. It does it's looking like it doesn't matter with him not performing. They're still getting results. Wiggins a couple games going on a tirade, Kevin Looney going on a tirade. They're getting production from everywhere. Even at times I see, Draymond Green drop 10 points, and he hasn't dropped 10 a lot this year. I know 10 might sound like nothing, but the Draymond Green, if he's getting 10 to 12 points, that's a huge bonus for your team. So Klay Thompson's averaged about 14, 15 in this series, just hasn't been able to shoot the ball well at all. I know he's forcing a lot of shots. Aulino, I think you can vouch for me. Like he's at a point in his career where I don't want to call him a suck. I don't think he's a suck. That's not the right word. But when he doesn't get the ball at any given moment, when he knows he's open and can make a shot, it affects him for like 5 straight possessions. And he's got to get that out of his head. I know in terms of when you look at Golden State, all the guys there, you have the Stephs of the world, the Draymond Greens of the world. Clay is probably the most competitive out of all those guys, as crazy as that sounds. Draymond's an absolute competitor. Physically, he'll wear you down. He'll yell and scream at the refs. But Klay Thompson, in terms of an individualistic athlete, is he's the most competitive by far. You guys see it in warmups. The looks that he gives on the court, he tries to get dialed in, but sometimes he's his worst enemy. And I don't like his mentality some games and his body language. I think he has to change it. I think if he really wants to be a part of the game plan and to get about 12 shots, he has to, translate great defending into great offense, and we haven't seen it at all this series. But I got to give my love to fucking Wiggins. Guy's been balling out.
Yeah, with Clay, it's like, I don't know. He's like, remember he was pissed for getting snubbed from that NBA 75 team, and like this is a way to show them all up and like, look, I'm still Klay Thompson, and this is how great I am, and make a statement, and he hasn't done that, so it has been a disappointing postseason for Klay for sure.
How many will Klay average in the finals?
Oh.
10
points, 4 rebounds, 1 3.
Prove me wrong, buddy. Average 20. Let's go.
I'm gonna say 22. I'm holding out hope. It's still Klay Thompson. I mean, the guy's barely fucking walked the last 2 years, right? Like,
barely.
Oh man, like I still think, obviously he's one of the best fucking shooters ever, and it's, you pick up where you left off, but at the same time, I still feel like maybe next year or so we're gonna really start to see him get back to form. But the fact that Golden State is doing this shit with him not being himself, fucking Maple Jordan stepping up, and Jordan Poole, goddamn, Golden State Warriors looking to go to the finals again against the fuckings. I don't want to see the Celtics go, man. I hope the Heat come back.
Oh man, it's not happening.
So
Steph Curry Finals MVP.
Are we banking on Golden State Boston then? This is it.
I'm banking on it.
Oh man. Well, with that being said, Aulino, Boston, Golden State. What's your early prediction, assuming that's how it plays out?
If this Golden State team plays like the way they have the last 2 rounds, and Boston does have Al Horford who can shoot the 3, kind of not to Jokic's level where he's going to get like 30 a game, but he's going to be a matchup problem. I see Golden State winning in 6 games instead of 5, like what they could have done against Dallas.
I'm not going to lie to you boys. This could be a coin flip. I think defensively, the Celtics are one of the better teams in the NBA, and the Warriors just defensively, they haven't wowed me yet. I know Draymond's great defensively. Clay's taken a step back defensively. Curry, we all know Curry and Poole are not the greatest defensive players. So, like, Kevon Looney's going to have to come up big. Andrew Wiggins is going to have to come up big. He's probably going to be on Tatum for most of it. If it's not Tatum, it's Brown. So he's going to have that pressure. I'm not going to lie, boys. Like, I think the Celtics can get it done. I think they can win this series. Marcus Smart has to outplay Klay Thompson. He's been doing it all playoffs. Man, you know what? I'll go with Celtics in 7. I think they can win it all.
Wiggins is gonna lock up those Boston bitches. Golden State in 5. Boom.
Imagine Andrew Wiggins playing so well that he wins Finals MVP.
Can you imagine Wiggins wins Finals MVP? The guy's a freaking free agent. Like,
the
max
Raptors.
Oh my God. Do we have anything else for hoop?
Oh man, I'm good. I mean, fucking shout out to Luka. The guy's been balling and got that massive gash on his fucking face from Wiggins. Did you see that scratch on his face? Jeez, he looked like a James Bond villain. But yeah, he's unreal. He's got the respect from the GOATs, like Steph Curry mentioned, how competitive and how great he is. And you know what? Before we end it, Pagniello, I'll ask you, like, you I guess were surprised with Dinwiddie and how he's played, especially in clutch moments. But how about Jalen Brunson throughout these playoffs? Like, the guy's a free agent too. Like, is he going to get a lot of shooters, or do you think Cuban's going to lock that shit down and re-sign him?
I think they'll re-sign him, but at the same time, like, he should get some calls from other teams. He's going to make some bank this year. I didn't know he had this in him this soon. I thought maybe a couple years down the line, develop a little more. He's still a fairly young guy. But, like, him coming up now, Luka's obviously been fucking leading the way. But, like, he's had some games. He's dropped 40 in these playoffs before. He's had a lot of 20-point games. Like, he fills up the stat sheet every fucking night. Like, awesome player. I hope they fucking overpay him and he gets like $28 million.
Oh, that's a big number.
But yep, I guess that's it today. Episode 179. Moving along with the NHL NBA playoffs. You guys stay tuned for next week. Pick up where we left off.